Stephen, in this video, for people that are interested in our program, we wanted to talk about protection. It's a thing that a lot of people are concerned about. When people are new, sometimes they're a little overly concerned, but they're overly concerned for a valid reason because they don't understand all the different ways you can protect yourself. And they don't understand the very affordable techniques that we can give them. A very common sense, very strong techniques. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. For some reason, we all are fearful at times that someone's going to take our idea, okay? And there's some fantastic tools out there. There's a provisional patent application. There's everything from NDAs, copyrights, trademarks, and we talk all about that in our program. But I want everybody to understand, it's not about protection, it's about selling, all right? So, and companies aren't out there to take your ideas, to steal your ideas. It's not, it just doesn't happen that way. They welcome us. So, but that being said, we do stress and we do teach you how to write a provisional patent application that has value, that truly has value, not only to that potential licensee, but also if you want to turn that into a non-provisional patent application, it's actually going to have value. Mm-hmm. So we look at it from a business perspective, not so much from a legal one. If you ask attorneys, they're all going to tell you you need to protect everything, and that's just not true. Most of the licensing agreements that I see almost weekly now, all the student has is a provisional patent application. It's not about patents, but it's about a well-written provisional patent application. So when a potential licensee sees this, Andrew, it has value. Now,
what do you mean value? What do you mean by that?
Well, here's a very interesting thing that people don't realize. Most products out there in the market don't have patents. And 97% of all patents never make any money. So why is everybody fearful that I need to own something? I need to have a patent. That's just not true. But what you do need is a provisional patent application that has that perceived ownership. Because Andrew, you and I both know products go in and out of the market so quickly today that if you waited for a patent to issue, you might have missed the market.
Well, a lot of people don't know it takes 1 to 4 years for a patent issue. So when you can file a provisional patent application for $65 and say patent pending for a year, it's a great tool, and it would never, if it takes you a year to work on a project, you're not talking to your coach, you're not working on it, something went really wrong. You know, and so when you can say patent pending, and then if you get if the company shows interest, we show you how to get the company to pay for the patent. So now, if the project doesn't work out, God forbid, you know, $65 is all you spent, not $10,000 or $15,000 for a patent. Sometimes you can get patents for, you know, $6 or $8 grand, but why not put that risk off onto the manufacturer? And it's really no risk if they're investing in it, Stephen, when they're licensing it.
No, we typically save our students thousands and thousands of dollars by showing them how to leverage a provisional patent application correctly. Mm-hmm. And that's with the right drawings, that's with the right doing your homework. We talk about how to study the marketplace so you know the difference of your product, you know the uniqueness. We talk about how to do a correct prior art search so you're looking at other patents that are very similar, and how to use that knowledge, bring it together, so when you write your provisional patent application, it has that value, right?
Let me address something that I think a lot of people are concerned about, Stephen. In 15 years, we've never had a student that couldn't write their own provisional patent. Now, if you guys have ever looked at a patent, you look at it, it's like, what the heck is this? It's some sort of foreign language, right? So now, a provisional patent can be written in common English. Anybody can do it. I've had students that didn't have a GED, to students that had a PhD. I've never had somebody that couldn't write a provisional. It can be written in common English, not that lawyer speak that you see regular patents written in. If you get interest from a company, we're going to have an attorney put it into that lawyer speak because we're going to show you how to get them to pay for the patent, upgrade that provisional to a full patent, and reference your provisional. So the long and the short of it is, for $65, it lets you fish off the pier for a year. It will never take you a year. You're doing something really wrong if it takes you a year, because you work on a lot of projects during a year. And if there is interest, we'll get the company to pay for the patent.
You know, Andrew, that approach does two things. It allows you to determine if your idea is a good one, if it's marketable. Number two, it lets your potential licensee say, yes, I want to do a deal with you. I see it all the time.
Because you can put patent pending on the sell sheet.
Patent pending, but Andrew, if you write it correctly, now this is the gray area. Companies have two decisions when a product lands on their desk. The first thing is, hey, we want this. Second thing is, their attorney comes in and goes, well, does he own anything? But that's not the point. The point is it's about showing them you could own something. That's all it is, you guys. And if it's done correctly, they always say yes. So we teach you to write a provisional patent application. That's number one. It's going to save you thousands of dollars. You can do it over and over again as many times as you want to. And it has that perceived ownership that potential licensees see and need for them to sign licensing agreements with you.
Now I'm going to address something else that has nothing to do with the provisional. Some people, they overstate the value of the provisional. And so in 15 years, Stephen, I haven't had a single one of our students get knocked off having filed provisionals. It'll happen one day. One day I'll have to say, oh, it happened to one student, but it hasn't happened yet. And I think there's a very firm reason for that. I think 50% of that is the provisional. The ability to say patent pending, have that perceived protection is great. Okay. The other 50% is when our students are doing and saying all the right things. They're doing and saying all the right things via email when a company shows interest. All the right things on the phone. You don't need to be slick. You just need to ask smart questions at the right times. And because typical negotiations are 3 weeks to 3 months of back and forth, Stephen, they always have time to lean on us. What should I say in the next phone call? What should I say to the next email? So you're going to be acting like somebody that's been doing this a decade. So that 1 or 2% of companies might consider knocking you off will not mess with you. Now, they might mess with that inventor from a year ago that was kind of wacky, he doesn't know what he's doing. But why would they mess with you if they see you know what you're doing? If you separated yourself by acting professionally, this is the other 50% of the protection. First 50% is the provisional, the other 50% is acting professionally. Why would they mess with you? Because it's a liability. They're more afraid of you than you are of them.
And you're absolutely right. In all the years that we've been teaching, we've never had these issues. And I think it's because we're teaching our students to be professionals. Not inventors, but product developers. And they're used to working with product developers. They welcome ideas from the outside. They like that you're professional. You understand what their needs are, what their concerns are. You do it in such a way that you're taking away risk for them, saying, yes, we want to work with you. We want to work on this project and bring it to market for you. And that's a total package that we bring together, and we help our students deliver that package you talked about the other day. It's not just the sell sheet, but it's a whole package of knowledge that goes along with it, and they love it. They embrace you. We've heard companies even talk about our company, the way our students handle themselves professionally, and that's so important. And Andrew's right. That is 50% of preventing any problem that could happen in the future with these companies.
Thank you so much, Stephen. So hopefully this will address your concerns about getting ripped off, what have you. It doesn't happen. Does it happen? It has happened, Stephen. Has any inventor ever got ripped off? Of course. Of course it has.
You always hear these one stories. All right, you guys. But what we've seen, it doesn't happen very often because it's bad for business for them. It's bad for everyone. So these companies are looking for us. They want us to help out. And licensing is a perfect business model because it's pay as you go. And as I said earlier, it's not about protection. It's about selling. And you're going to show them good ideas, work with them, give them everything they need, take away the risk, and that's how you get the deals done.
Great. Thank you so much, Stephen.